Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Home Solutions here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. Hope you're doing well no matter how you're listening to us, whether you're listening on the radio, maybe you're listening online, or you're in the Mix 104.1 app, or maybe we'll wave to everybody. You're on Facebook watching us this morning. Hope you're having a great day. Dennis Purvis here with Pro 93 Home Solutions, your sponsor for the show. And as always, my shameless plug for the week. Anything from handyman to full remodeling to maybe you need some residential or light commercial cleaning, give us a call at Pro 93 Home Solutions. We'd love to help you. We're also Cleveland's only authorized retailer of Vivint Smart Home Security Systems. We'd love to be able to get you set up with maybe that doorbell camera or outdoor cameras that you've been looking for, smart locks, smart thermostats, whatever it is. Pro 93 can help. With that, I am blessed by a cornucopia of guests today here in the studio. With us, I've got a newcomer to Pro 93, one of our newest project managers. Some of you may know him. He's worked in the trades here and owned his own business in town for a long time. Mr. Dale Bradford, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Dennis.
Get a little closer to that microphone.
Dale
doesn't want to be here today, folks. Let me just go ahead and tell you. This is Dale. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good.
We're going to talk to Dale here in a little bit to get a little bit of his backstory. Some of you out there might be his customers from previous time. I'll let you know where he is now and where you can get him to come work on your house. And, really, really dressing up the place today. Really making the place look good. The lovely, the talented Josh Rogers from Wholesale Supply. How you doing, brother?
Doing well. Excited to be here. I think I was talking with some people earlier, and I think this is my fourth time on the Pro 93 Home Show.
It is. I think it is.
I think I might be the guest who's been here the most.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I'm ready for syndication.
Well,
and,
it's like Saturday Night Live. We have a 5 timers club, so
okay.
next time
it's
syndication. We get a jacket. It's a jacket. And it's really
perfect.
nice. It's beautiful.
That'd be awesome.
And it's a ball cap. It's a jacket and a
ball cap.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Josh, as you guys know, if you don't, he's the VP of Marketing over at Wholesale Supply Group. Open to the public. You have to say that anytime you're on the radio here because Steve Hartline has made that a thing. My first question is, how much did you have to pay Steve Hartline to do your hold music at Wholesale Supply?
You'll have to ask him that question.
Was it a huge talent fee?
It was a decent talent fee, but friendship goes a very long way. Friendship and every other meal when we go to lunch during the month it goes a long way.
I have every time I call over there to get to the showroom or the sales desk, and I hear Steve on the hold music. I've been meaning to ask you about this for months.
Yeah, so we got a new phone system probably about a year and a half ago, and we were able to get a hold something on there to where it wasn't just elevator music.
Yeah.
We wanted something where people could hear about sales specials or closings or whatever it might be. And obviously, when you're located here in Cleveland, you call the best around. Hey. And I'll get a text message for this one, but you call the best around and you ask them to do a hold thing for your phone system. And so it was great. So thankful for Steve doing that. But it's also sort of like my bane of existence when I'm at work because anytime I'm on hold with a store or something like that, all I hear is Heartline's voice all day long. So I love him to death, but it's just his voice
echoing your head
all day long. So.
And for those of you, Steve Hartline, the owner of this fine establishment here at Mix 104.1 and Buzz 101.3, and just so you know, that's not a game show voice. That's not a radio voice.
No.
That's Steve's voice.
It is.
I've known Steve since he was 18 years old, and he talked like that then. He's always sounded like a 40-year-old radio broadcaster from 1952. That's what he sounds like.
God blessed him with a great voice
yes,
for
he
being
did.
in radio.
And a great face for radio.
Yeah,
hey, all right. So moving on. Josh, you've got a big announcement. We're gonna tease it a little bit here. We're gonna talk about the big announcement you guys have at Wholesale Supply that you just, I think, announced earlier this week here on the radio, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, started this past Wednesday. So
all right, so we'll talk about that here in a little bit. As we get going here, I just want to take a minute and get Dale acclimated to the show today. We got lots to talk about today. And for those of you that are out there, that are Cleveland folks, Dale Bradford, Been around. How long you been in Cleveland?
All my life. Done.
So like 19 years.
Right.
Yeah.
19 years.
But Dale, tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing this kind of work and how'd you get to Pro 93?
I've been doing this work for like 30 years. I enjoy doing it. Material went outrageous, and I seen Pro 93 on the Facebook, and I applied for the job, and I went and talked to them. I got the job, and I'm proud to be working with them.
And we're proud to have you. Dale brings a ton of experience. Dale, talk about some of the things, carpentry, construction. You've done a little bit of everything, but what are some of the things that you enjoy the most about what you do?
I enjoy meeting new customers and pleasing them what they want done and making sure everything's done right. And if they have any questions, they can come back to me, and I will try to answer them.
And for the way we're set up at Pro 93, is we do a job, and Josh could attest to this. We did a job for him at his house, and Brian was the project manager there. And kind of the project manager is the person you're going to see every day. They're the person that is running the crew, making sure, getting scheduling, to make sure the job is staying on task. And the best compliment I can get as an owner is when I get a call from a customer who says, your crew, your project manager, the folks you've had in my home were professional. They were clean. They took care of everything. They left things clean. And there's, when things come up, then there's going to be an issue at some point. They resolved them, and they were always there to make it right for the customer. And that's part of our culture at Pro 93 is, regardless, we don't have to live in your house. Yeah. You do. And nobody, I don't care how excited you are. Look, I remember Josh and how excited he was for that new shower in his bathroom. But after a couple weeks, you're tired of having people in your house.
Oh, most definitely.
You can be excited about what's coming, but after a while, it's not your routine.
Yeah, 3 weeks is a long time when you don't have your own bathroom and you got people in your house every single day. But
you had a guest bathroom you would use like 3 times before then?
Oh, yeah. Never. I think that shower, I've had family and friends over, but I think that shower was probably used maybe 4 or 5 times. And I've lived in that house for 4 years, so. But I can attest, that project manager, and like you said, I did have Brian as my project manager for the projects that we did at our house. And he is your go-to contact, and great people always, and willing to give their cell phone number out at Pro 93. Send them a text message, send them a call. If you have questions or you have a change order or whatever it might be, you just have that project manager. And all the people that I've met at Pro 93 and through Pro 93 doing business with you guys, but also, business on a business aspect, but also personal and friendships as well. Just such great people.
Oh, man, we really do appreciate that. And it's, one of the things Dale brings to the table for us is that I always joked around that, I had one of the best tile guys around in Nettie Jacinto, and yeah. I know he did your shower. And then I found Dale, and Dale started showing us some pictures, and Dale he didn't want to mention it at first. But Dale's not a bad tile man himself. You've done a few tile showers and surrounds and backsplashes, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I enjoy doing tile.
Listen, and he did a backsplash. We did a house in Hickson, and I said, hey, you want to go down there and help get that backsplash? He's like, sure. I went down there at lunch, and it was done. Like, it was done. He was ready to grout. And I was like, you said you've done tile? And he's like, yeah, I've done a little more than I lit on. So it's
meticulous work. It is.
It is, man. And I'll be honest with you. I'm a build you a deck kind of guy. I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff. And I know my limits. I know the difference between a rough carpenter and a finished carpenter and everything in between. And I am most definitely rough when it comes to that. But having these guys here today, we've got some things we wanted to talk to you guys about today. And we're going to talk about here after the first break. We're going to let Josh talk a little bit about the new promotion they've got at Wholesale Supply Group, open to the public. But also, I want to talk a little bit today about materials. And it really, Josh is a kind of a perfect person to have in here because of where he works and what he does. And Dale has been, like you heard him say, he's been doing this for 30 years. He's watched this stuff. For those of you that are out there right now, maybe you're driving around, maybe you're driving to one of the local hardware stores, maybe you're driving to one of the big box stores, or you're going out right now maybe to one of the nurseries to do some mulch or something. You're going to see something, you're going to have some sticker shock. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Materials there's lots of reasons when you talk to people, but we're going to go over some of that and talk to you guys about where some places that you can maybe find some ways to save a little bit of money during doing this, places you can go. This is one of those things where buying local can definitely help you out, folks. So we come back, we're going to talk a lot about that. So stick around with us. Don't touch that dial. However you're listening to us, hang out. We'll see you here in just a few minutes. You're listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 103 The Buzz. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Home Solutions. We're here in the brand new, luxurious, camera-filled Mix 104.1 studios. Just to know this is where Dwayne and Steve and Bridget, all the magic happens. It just has a nice little. It's fun here. Good energy. Good energy. So no matter how you're listening to us, maybe you're watching us on Facebook. Howdy do to everybody. Dennis here with Dale Bradford, one of our project managers at Pro 93, and Josh Rogers, VP of Marketing over at Wholesale Supply Group. And with having Josh here, we kind of teased it in the first segment. Josh, you guys got I called you when I heard this the other day. Yeah. Can contractors get on this? Because it's as good as a promotion as I've heard. So without further ado, tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, so we like to do promotions from time to time all throughout our company and for all of our stores. And sometimes it's with water heaters, sometimes it's with light fixtures, sometimes it could be with toilets or tools or whatever it might be. But this time going on right now, we started it this past Wednesday, and we'll be going until February 26, 2021. So we're doing a water heater promotion. If you buy a water heater from Wholesale Supply Group at any one of our 32 locations, you get entered in for a drawing for either a Henry Golden Boy rifle, it's a 22 long rifle, or a 70-inch 4K Samsung TV. Are you not going to give a big TV? You're just going to give away a 70-inch? Yeah, just kind of cheap, isn't it, Josh? It is. I was going to go a little bit bigger. Are you kidding me? But go big or go home. Yes, so I love that idea. And that's for everyone. Like you always say, Heartline always says, open to the public. Yeah, right. So if you're thinking about your water heater goes out, or you need to replace one, or something happens, or maybe you're moving into a new commercial building, or maybe you need one for your church, or whatever it might be, there's plenty of places around to get water heaters. But right now, we're competitive price on all of our water heaters across the board. But also you get entered into a drawing to possibly win a Henry Golden Boy rifle or a 70-inch TV, which is amazing. And that's for plumbers, that's for contractors, and there's no limit. If you're a plumber contractor, or you're a contractor and you're building houses, or you're doing remodels, as many water heaters as you buy from now until February 26th, that's as many entries as you get into this promotion. But we also wanted to do something even bigger than a 70-inch TV or a Golden Boy rifle. And really, this is more it's for anybody. Anybody can come and do this, but it's really for our plumbing contractors. It's for our other contractors, our remodelers, and people like that. People like Pro 93. If you buy 5 water heaters at a single time, you get entered in to a drawing for a 2021 C-Force or C-Moto C-Force 600 4x4 four-wheeler. This thing is beautiful. It's a double seat. It's a 4x4. It's all automatic. It's got the hand guards, LED lights. It's wholesale blue and white, and it is absolutely beautiful. And so we're going to be giving that away too. And, so it's not just here in Cleveland, but it's Chattanooga, Athens, Dayton, Madisonville, Dalton, Chatsworth. Yesterday I was around all those stores on Friday, and when I was going to all those stores, I was listening to Mix. So I know that you can hear this. I know you're listening to this, whether you're online, wherever. Check us out, wholesalesupply.us, to find a location near you. But we've got 32 stores in 6 states, and we cover all the Southeast. All 23 or 22 stores in Tennessee, 2 in North Carolina, 2 in Kentucky, 1 in Alabama, and 1 in Virginia, and 4 in Georgia. And so we're all around, and we'd love for people to come in. If you want to find out more information about this promo, you can go to our website, you can go to our social media, and find out more information about it. But it's just great. We did a promo like this a few years ago with Yeti coolers, and it was phenomenal. I mean, we had people buying water heaters left and right. It was unbelievable the amount of water heaters that we sold for a Yeti cooler, and we thought maybe we could do a little bit more, do a little bit bigger. I know I get a report every day of all the water heaters sold, and they're starting to sell very fast. We've had about 4 or 5 customers already do the 5, so we've already got 4 or 5 people in for the 4-wheeler, and we're excited about being able to give this away. And so you sit there and say, well, I might not need a water heater right now, or I'd love to get in more and more and more. Well, the good thing is we don't do anything small. We don't do anything short-term at Wholesale Supply Group. We've been in business 78 years, and like we do our business, we like to do our promos very long and drawn out. And so this promo goes until February 26, 2021, so you got plenty of time to be able to buy a water heater. So if you're listening to this, tell your friends. Say, hey, you got a chance to win a big old TV, and I can come over and watch a football game or a baseball game or
well, what you need to tell them is, you need a water heater, but you need to let me buy it for you. Give me the money.
Yeah,
and let me go pick it up.
Oh yeah,
I'll get it for you. You don't need to trouble yourself.
Most definitely. So
I have several questions.
Go ahead.
My first one is,
sure,
Dale, how much room do we have in the Connex? Can we get some water heaters in there?
We've got some room.
We got some room. We probably get 5 to 10 of them in there, right?
Right.
Second question.
Yeah.
When you guys do water heaters, you're not just doing typical. I know you guys have electric and gas models, but you guys also do tankless water heaters. Are those included on the promo?
They are not. They are not. So our promo, we have 2 separate lines of water heaters.
Okay.
So we have American water heaters, and that's what this promo is with. It's electric, gas. It's residential or commercial water heaters, but it's a tank type water heater.
And it does. Does that include the forced air, the forced vents for gas?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Any American branded water heater,
perfect,
is entered into this promo. So
gotcha.
Those are our tank type, what we call tank type water heaters, and then our tankless water heaters. Those are a different brand, Renai.
Yeah.
Both of these brands of water heaters, American is made in Johnson City, Tennessee, and Renai is made down in Atlanta, Georgia. So all local made products, and that's kind of
in the Wholesale Supply footprint.
It is most
beautiful.
Definitely. Yeah. So we've got stores all in Georgia, and we've got stores up in Kingsport and Abington area, so all over the Tri-Cities as well. So, but that American made. Those American-made water heaters, we like to buy and sell American-made products, and that's really a great segue for what we're going to talk about here later on.
Yeah.
When it comes to about buying products and everything.
And that's we definitely will get to that. And so, folks, if you're out there and your water heater is on your last legs.
Yeah.
First of all, give us a call, Pro 93. Dale and I were just in the truck took a call on a water heater on our way here. So hopefully we'll have our first entry.
Yeah, come on.
We'll have our first entry. I'm
'em.
pretty excited about that. And listen, it's one thing we want to. It is a great segue to talk about right now. Like I said, if you're out there looking to go grab stuff for the house, maybe you got a DIY project, a yard project. You're going to go down the aisle. You're going to get to the price tag, and you may be a little floored. Folks, if you haven't noticed or you haven't heard, if this isn't what you do every day, material prices are crazy. You heard Dale say earlier, it was one of the reasons he had his own business and was doing his own thing, and is one of the reasons that made him look at maybe coming on board with us, just because it is as a contractor, I'm telling you, estimates, we do estimates that are typically good for 30 days. And there have been a couple that we have had to, customers have taken a little bit longer, and we've had to revise because the last 2 months has seen a dramatic shift in pricing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right.
We've seen companies, major retailers, take their websites down for repricing.
Yeah.
And we got some 2x4s last week, and 60 days ago, 2x4s, just regular kiln dried, $350?
$280.
Yeah, $350 at the most, and right now they're close to $8 a 2x4.
Yeah,
it is. So keep that in mind, and I don't want to scare people away, but we try to be honest with everybody we have. And every customer we have, we try to treat your house like it's ours. I told a customer the other day that she wanted to do a big deck project. And I told her, I said, you know, I know you want that thing stained. You don't want to build a deck and stain it right away anyway. You know, so you're probably with we're into the rainy season now. It may be springtime before you get to stain that. You may want to wait and see where lumber prices are there. You know, we saw this going up. I know we've got a deck coming up in 2 weeks that we went ahead and bought the material just because we were, number one, they had it, which that's one thing is their short supply, and number two, we didn't know where the price was going to be in 2 or 3 weeks when we were going to start the job. So it is. Dale, you've been doing this a lot longer than me? Have you seen this sort of surging stuff before?
I haven't ever seen it this high before.
I mean, there's been ebb and flows. I know we were talking in the office. You said you've seen them kind of dip and go up depending on, you know, natural disasters, hurricanes. You see that, you know, a few months down the road. Josh, what are you guys seeing?
Yeah, so all correct. You know, it's there's a lot of different factors that come into play, right? So we've got the COVID-19.
Yeah.
A lot of manufacturers, when COVID-19 hit back in February, March, in that time frame, laid a lot of people off, you know, and so the federal government gave large breaks to people who were laid off of their job and gave more unemployment money. Mm-hmm. And so what we're hearing in cases like that is that it's very hard once you lay somebody off to get them back when you're going to be making more money than you know, being off of work than you are working. And so that's one thing that we're seeing is that we're having a lot of hard times when it comes with a lot of our manufacturers to try to get products and to get stuff made because they're having an employment crisis right now. On the other side of that is that we're having a hard time right now just to even get the raw materials into those companies to be able to get things made. Recently, we had the hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast about a month and a half ago. PVC and resin shot through the roof. So anytime that there's a hurricane and it goes towards New Orleans and it goes towards Houston, you can always bet that conduit and PVC fittings and pipe will always go up because all the major resin plants are based in that area.
And they all come through like it, and even the stuff that they need to make that stuff is coming through Galveston or the port of New Orleans.
Yes,
we don't realize. You know, this isn't 1842, so we don't realize that ports still matter in our country.
Yes, very much so.
And all the trade ends up coming through there.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and what you're also hearing is we got through, you know, most major manufacturers, lumber yards, that kind of stuff, they have warehouses.
Sure.
They've got storage. We've eaten through that.
Yeah.
So we're now in that gap where some of these places were closed for a month or two.
Sure.
Where nothing was being produced.
Yeah, so a big name that if you're in this industry everyone knows is Square D. It's basically breakers, panels.
Go look at your electrical panel. Chances are there's probably a 33% chance that it's a Square D panel.
Yeah, either Square D, GE, or Siemens. You know, so it's usually or ITE. So it's one of those four. You know, but Square D, all their breakers they're made in Mexico. And so when COVID hit, the Mexican government shut down all manufacturing, which also shut down the border between trucking and everything like that between the border states of Texas, Arizona, everything like that. And so that border kind of shut down. It was hard for people to come across the border due to COVID and due to other reasons. And those factories, those plants, I mean, you get one COVID case, you're shutting down segments of the business, you're shutting down things. And then the other problem is where are things being manufactured? Yeah. Right? You have things, we have products, our pumps, like our sump pumps, they're manufactured in Bergen, New York. And so New York and New York City has had very strong restrictions on who can work, how they can work, where they can work, and how often they can work. So it's a little bit slower for us to get pumps. All of our PVC and all that, it comes from Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina, very strong and strict COVID policies and everything. So it's, that has a lot to do with it. Being able to get raw materials has a lot to do with it. And also importing from overseas right now with everything going on in the world. Another thing is it's also election year. We always see prices fluctuate during an election year. So it's kind of scary right now. We're out of a lot of stuff right now, trying to get stuff in constantly. And our purchasing people are working overtime, trying to get stuff in and pleading and begging with vendors to get stuff. So, if you can't find it here, there, or wherever, most likely chances are it's on its way. It's coming. It's definitely on order, but it's just, there's a lot of different things that go into it.
Well, listen, we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll talk about this a little more, but we're also going to talk to you a little bit about some ways you can help navigate this, especially if you're trying to tackle some things and save. We're at a point where everybody's always wants to save some money, but with the uncertainty of what's going on in the world right now, people are wanting to. It's at the forefront of everybody's mind. So that's what we're here to help you with. We come back, we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm here with Josh Rogers, Dale Bradford, Dennis Purvis here with Pro 93. We'll be back with Home Solutions in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. A couple more segments here. Happy Saturday to everybody. Dennis Purvis here with Pro 93 Home Solutions. Just as a reminder, if there's anything we can do to help you out, from handyman service all the way to full remodeling, give us a call, 458-4135, or Pro 93 Home Solutions on the web. We'd love to talk to you. And today what we're talking about is kind of this material crunch we're in right now. Everybody's in it. Dale said last segment, you said, you've seen prices, but never like this.
No, they've tripled.
Yeah.
And you can't get them.
I know we went in a couple weeks ago to a local, one of our local suppliers here, and handed them a list of what we needed. And the sales rep, who is awesome, just kind of goes to his computer, comes back to me, and he hands it back to me and goes, I got the spindles. I'm like, okay. And I was like, that's it? And he's like, that's all I got in stock. Truck will be here Tuesday, and we'll see what's on it. And you're just like...
I'm just glad when you said spindles, I knew that wasn't me. Oh, boy. What did our boys say down there on the counter? Oh, goodness.
No, listen, it's been a definitely an interesting... I can tell you this. You talked about raw materials. Yeah. Where we get a lot of our metal. Yeah. We're blessed in this town to have two great local metal places to get our metal that both run it out here in town. And we heard from both of them within a week that, they both called to tell us expect increases.
Yes.
We can't even get the material to run the metal. When metal's in the name of your company, you think you're probably got it. They know where to get it. Yeah. They got more than one place to get it. Yeah. And if they're having trouble getting a hold of it, guys, if you don't believe me, go to one of the big box, go to Home Depot and Lowe's and walk down the lumber aisle and look how there's nothing full. You used to go in there and see racks of 2x4s, 2x6, 2x8s, 2x10s, and then up above them, you've got the another rack. You go in there right now. It is pick through, pick clean, pressure treated. It's hard to come back. We have even on a job we've had where we needed it right away. We went down to a lumber mill. We went down to Klein's there in Prater's Mill, and they've been that sawmill. That place has it. I feel like every time I go down there, I love them because it's like you step back in time. I feel like Charles Ingalls and Mr. Edwards should be working there at Little House on the Prairie. You go in the back because it looks like it probably did 80 years ago when they started that place. But and it's just fresh cut lumber. And folks, it is hard to do. So things you can do out there right now. Number one is going to be more. You need to plan. The more you can plan, the more you can order ahead. Because what we've seen is sometimes specialty items, and I know especially, and we've done this at Wholesale, when we've had specialty items. I know we had a customer got a Delta faucet and they needed an extension. Yeah, something you guys don't normally carry because it's a weird extension, but we needed it, and we're seeing the shipping times haven't been bad on getting stuff in. So you just don't want to paint yourself in a corner. I think is first.
Most definitely.
Plan ahead. Folks, go in, Wholesale Supply, Cleveland Plywood, any of the Best Buy Metals, Pioneer Metals, all these folks in town, that Thomas Metal out on 64. Cleveland Aluminum. We use and love every one of those places that are locally owned. I know Josh and Wholesale have the same mentality as if you can buy local, do it.
Most definitely.
Right now, buying local could save you money because we're your neighbors. And even calling a contractor like us, your do-it-yourself project, chances are it's going to be far more expensive if you don't have somebody helping you navigate these material crises. If you need to call us to get some advice, 458-4135. We can talk to you a little bit about maybe we can come in and do part of it. Maybe you can do the demo. Maybe you can do the paint. These certain things that may be able to save you money no matter what the project is. Plan ahead. Find somebody. Find you an expert. And I'm not talking about the uncle that lives in your mom's basement that, has never worked anywhere but knows better than everybody. Find somebody that works in the trades. You need a Dale Bradford that's been doing it for 30 years, can walk you through anything. Get your plans made, get your materials bought. If you got to order it. Be flexible. I mean, that's what we're telling our customers, I think, more than anything right now.
Right.
Listen, paint. We went to a major paint supplier. We're a contractor with a major paint supplier. I will not say their names, but there's only 3 of them in town, so you got a 33% chance. But Dale went in there to get 5 gallons of paint.
They didn't have no 5 gallon.
He had to drive to East Brainerd to get it. And it's the same thing you hear everywhere. We're going to see what's on the truck.
Yeah, it's huge. I totally agree with you about planning ahead, talking with experts. And the one thing I would add is go in when you're going into one of these suppliers, whether it's us or Cleveland Plywood or Best Buy Metals or Pioneer Metals or a paint place in town or even a box store. Go in with the understanding and knowing that you're going to have a heart of understanding.
Yes.
That you're going to have to have that heart that understands.
Be a little Christ-like when you go in.
And know that we know people need products and items now, right? We get that. We do this every day. We know people when they walk through our doors, they want something in their hands today that they can go home and they can work on a project.
Because it's their house.
It's their house.
It's their house. It's their project.
It's their project. It's their business, whatever it is. And we're trying our hardest to make sure that we keep our shelves stocked full as much as we can. But saying that, we can only do so much. We can only buy so much when we start getting put on allocation by our suppliers.
Yeah.
We're only allocated a certain amount of material. We've got 32 stores in 6 states. You've got all these other people who are buying material, paint stores, metal stores, whoever. Everyone in the world right now everyone in the United States is going through the exact same problems we're going through.
Yeah.
Georgia, California, Kentucky, Texas, Florida. And if you don't think that there's not a whole bunch more suppliers and supply chains out there that are trying to get their products just like we're trying to get our products here in Cleveland, Tennessee, and the Chattanooga, the Tennessee Valley area, just so be understanding when you go into that. And whenever you're starting a project, always know that suppliers, not just at Wholesale, but anywhere, our industry cares so much about people. That is our industry. People are our industry.
We don't have an industry
without people.
Yeah.
And so just know and understand that we work every single day in and day out, whether it's Wholesale, Pro 93, or any other of the suppliers in town. We work every single day to make people happy. That's our job. We want to make people happy.
And part of that too is, I was reminded, we talked about some of the reasons before, but we talked about how the hurricane and everything can upset supply chain.
Yeah.
Understand too that we have 2 huge natural disasters going on simultaneously in this country right now.
Yeah.
Where people are rebuilding everything.
Yeah.
You've got countless houses in California, Oregon, and Washington that are burned up. In Colorado now.
Yeah.
And these aren't little cottages.
Yeah.
Right? These are
major houses.
You're going to have major material needs out there. Yeah. And we've got a customer we just talked to, just literally moved here from Louisiana to get away from the hurricanes.
Yeah.
And they moved here, bought a house, and then had a big leak in their wall and had water damage. And I was like, y'all brought the flood damage with you. But listen, listen to the stories of their family. They got hit like twice within a month.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to repair the stuff from the first one. When I mean, you see the videos from the one that hit last week or the week before, they were hitting houses that still had tarps on the roof.
Most definitely.
You know, guys, it's so that having that bit of understanding, and the way I try to look at it, and listen,
add a pandemic
yes,
into that, and
yes,
then add another natural disaster, which we call a presidential election
yes,
going on right
yeah.
now. You know,
yes,
so
listen,
it's a lot.
And a lot of it's some of that's self-inflicted.
Amen, brother.
But understand, like, listen, I had an issue. I had a French drain go bad in my yard last week. And for a couple days, because whether it was a big deal to me, it was a big deal to my wife because our front yard was a swamp. Trust me when I tell you, I understand that was consuming to me.
Yeah.
But when you talk about that hard understanding, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, my roof's still intact. I don't have a tarp covering up a hole. Nothing flooded inside the house. This was my front yard. My crepe myrtle may have got a little extra water. I guess that's probably maybe the mailman's shoes got a little soggy. I'm not sure, but I think that's a huge point, Josh, about just go in, hopefully it should just bleed in and tie in while we're taking care of one another and watching out for other, however you feel about masks. If you're just wearing them to protect other people, that's the kind of heart you need to go into when you're looking to buy materials, because we're all kind of in this thing together. So listen, we come back. We'll play a little Mythbusters game. I've got a couple questions for these guys. I'm going to get them this week. I got some really good inside information. I'm finally going to get Josh Rogers on Mythbusters because I know he's just, it's just how he is. Listen, we come back. We'll finish up here. Hope you guys are listening. Stay right where you are. We'll be back here in just a minute on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Hey, everybody, getting close to the top of the hour. Happy Saturday. Dennis Purvis getting ready to close out this hour here on Home Solutions this week. I've got the lovely and talented Dale Bradford and Josh Rogers, folks. Just good men. Good conversation today. Dale is one of our newest project managers. You guys probably have seen him around. He probably has done work at some of y'all's house. And he's been doing the construction trades for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
And what was the name of your company before?
It's Dale's Home Improvements.
So all of you Dale's Home Improvement customers that are out there, you can reach Dale at 458-4135 or at pro93homesolutions.com. If you just let us know you're one of Dale's customers, we'll make sure that Dale takes good care of you and get you. It's the one that comes out and takes care of your project. So, Dale, just one more time, it's so great to have you. You've been a great addition to the team, and it's always weird being the new guy, I know, but when you're a new guy and you're a boss. But listen, we've got a great group of men and women that work for us, and you heard that right. I'm telling you what, I got one of the best female plumbers in town. I will tell you that. We've got some great finishers. I got a female electrician. We've got, and our girls, guys, we got them from young to old. It doesn't matter what it is, no matter what your age is, no matter what the gender is, folks. We've got a good crew, and when they all seem to like Dale.
And don't matter what the job is, we'll get it done.
That's right. And you're going to be happy. And we don't listen. Just so everybody knows out there, one of our things, and we told Josh this. There's a punch list on every job. Mm-hmm. There's the things at the end that we need to make right. We typically don't try to rush people into paying that last check. We want you to go through your house. We want you to put Post-it notes on walls. We want you to, hey, look at this, do this. That's part of it. So we understand that. Josh, you could tell me, did you ever at any point feel pressured in our exchange? And you can be honest. I mean, because I want to learn from it too.
No, I don't think I ever felt pressured. I thought that I felt comfortable. I got 3 or 4 different bids, and had you guys come in and look. And just full blatant honestly, real quick. I was going through a hard time in my life when I started going through this. I was going through a divorce and everything like that. And you and some of the other guys there came in and heard about my story, heard what I was going through, and said, hey, you mind if I pray with you? That's Pro 93, right? So, sat there and sat around my kitchen table and prayed for me. And then, heck, we did the walkthrough through the house, and I just felt comfortable, the entire time. 2 weeks came and I was ready for you guys to leave just because I was ready. But I think that's any project you do. I haven't really built a house yet, and I know that I'm going to at some point, and I know that's usually a 3 to 6 month project, if not longer. Depending on what
depends on what materials you can get.
Yeah. And so I just don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that, because once I got to 3 weeks, it was one thing.
I built a house, and I can tell you, I was fine until it came to the finishing part where you got to pick colors.
Yeah. Oh man.
And my wife, she demanded that I be involved in the colors. And I was like, why? First of all, I'm colorblind. Let's be honest. If you've ever seen me, there's a reason I wear the same things every day, and that is because I'm colorblind. So I'll show up with a blue sock and a black sock without a question. So I don't even buy blue socks just to stay out of that. But I was like, okay, so we have a guest bath in our house that is, if your shirt's red right now, for those of you watching on Facebook.
It's pink.
Look, man, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Real men wear pink, brother.
I just picked it because I didn't really know what it was, but it said Daredevil, and I'm a comic book guy, so it is Daredevil red. My father, the first time he came to visit me, went into the bathroom and said he felt like he had walked into the gates of hell. Needless to say, that was the only color choice I had to make. After she saw me make that choice, she was like, I'll handle the colors from here on out. Yeah. That's the worst part. But listen, that's what we strive to. And, listen, I'm glad to not only have you as part of the Pro 93 family now, but as a friend. So thank you very much. And we typically do have some fun and games right here with Mythbusters. But before we get out of here, we got a few minutes left. Josh, I want you guys to talk one more time about the promotion you guys got going on. Go right ahead.
Yeah, buy any water heater at any Wholesale Supply Group location, 32 locations across 6 states. You can find the closest location to you, wholesalesupply.us. Buy any residential water heater, American water heater. That's the brand name, tank type water heater.
And also where it's made.
Yeah, it is. Residential or commercial, and buy one, get one entry into a drawing for a 70-inch Samsung 4K TV or a Henry Golden Boy 22 long rifle. Buy 5 water heaters at one single time for our contractors or plumbers. Get entered into a CF Moto, a 2021 CF Moto C4 600 4x4 four-wheeler. Thing's absolutely beautiful. So
if we win it, can we repaint it black and red for Pro 93?
If you want to, it's your four-wheeler at that point in time. So
you heard that, Dale? He said it was ours.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
if
it.
you win,
Yes.
if you win,
Oh,
if you win, let me if you win.
Oh, I got you. See, that's the thing. It's always something with that guy. No. All right. So that said, folks, moral of the story today, be flexible, plan ahead when you've got projects. If you need just some direction, you got some basic questions. We don't charge for estimates, and we don't charge to answer questions, folks. Give us a call, 458-4135 or pro93homesolutions.com. We've got a contact sheet right there on our website where you can give us your scenario. We will respond to you within a business day to those emails. We check those every morning. We get those. So just anything we can do to help you guys out, let us know. But it's time. We're going to do a short version of it, but we do it every time this week. It's Mythbusters Material Edition. Dum, dum, dum. Premise is very easy. Dale and Josh, I'm going to ask a question or just give you a myth that I've heard that I know is true. And you're going to tell me if it's confirmed, if I'm right, which I probably am, or if it's busted. Today I got one. And listen, I heard this news. This is something that I got an insider, Josh, just so you know.
Okay.
It's an insider who used to work, well, he didn't, but a friend of his that used to babysit his mama's kids. He said that buying local's always more expensive, so you might as well go to the box stores.
Yeah, I'm going to bust that myth.
Come on.
I'm going to bust that myth.
Well, you better tell me why.
Well, I think that when you buy local, you're buying from local people, right? And I think that while box stores do have big buying power with their size and everything, box stores don't always have local representation like a store like Wholesale Supply Group does. We have reps all over Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, Atlanta that come and deal perfect one-on-one with us, that deal with manufacturers like Kohler, Rinnai, Charlotte Pipe, and Delta.
All right. Listen, I hear your answer, but you tell me why when I come to your showroom at Wholesale Supply on Key Street, open to the public, that I see a Delta faucet up there.
Yeah.
And it's like $140, but I can go to a box store and buy a Delta faucet for $70.
Yeah, come by Wholesale Supply. We'll hand you a faucet and let you pick it up, and then you can go over to the other place and pick up their faucet. See which one's heavier.
Dale, would you want to tell everybody the difference between those two faucets? Why a Delta faucet from Wholesale Supply is going to be a little heavier?
Because it's got metal on the inside versus plastic.
One's $40 and one's $140. So yeah, you might be able to get a great $40 faucet.
We tell people,
won't be lasting a whole
I tell
long
people
time.
all the time, and this is all seriousness, if you're going to pay thousands of dollars to get a brand new tile shower, don't. And I love we are we buy from box stores, folks, as contractors. However, when it comes to those things, you got a tile wall. You don't want to buy a fixture you're going to have to replace in 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're going to get something that you want to stay in that wall. Why? Because you got beautiful brand new tile you don't want to break up to get to it. So listen, it is if you're going to spend that money, where we see, and I know Dell, we've talked about this, we've seen people time and time again that when it comes to fixtures, kind of cheap out.
Right.
Because they're like,
It's the one thing you don't ever want to cheap.
Yes, because it can be a super expensive fix.
Yes.
And listen, plumbing usually means digging into a wall. So you're not just calling a plumber, you're calling a plumber, a sheetrock guy, a tile guy. Before the end of it, you've paid for that shower twice over when you could have just spent a little bit more money at the front end. I've got a really good friend that's actually been on this radio show that he said a few years ago he redid his bathroom and he's kicked himself ever since because he cheaped out at the end. And he said, you know how many times? He said, I'm on my third faucet in there. I said, where'd you get the third one? He went to Wholesale Supply. I was like, it took you twice. Yeah. It took you twice to get wise. So listen, folks, we're going to get out of here. Josh, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, brother, I always appreciate coming in here. I always love being here and talking with you and enjoying the day. And let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
I know this is probably going to be it's being played this morning, but dogs play at noon, so go dogs, sick 'em, hoo hoo hoo, playing against Kentucky today.
Yeah,
so,
but if you want to watch an undefeated team, the Ohio State Buckeyes also take on Nebraska today. We actually
0-0.
Listen, we actually get to see real football. Big Ten football's back today at noon. I mean, it's going to be great.
I didn't even know they were going to play football.
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, good, whatever. How'd that Alabama game go? Hey everybody, good. Hey everybody. No, Dale Bradford, thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you for having me.
You guys remember, those of you that have had worked with Dale, you can get a hold of him at 458-4135 or pro93homesolutions.com. Welcome to the team, man. We're so glad to have you, brother. Thanks for being here today, even though it was kind of against your will. I did get you a good lunch right before this. So there you go. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Hope you have a great Saturday. Be nice out there, Facebook world.